Hi everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a solo playthrough of Sky Team, Prepare for Landing. This solo playthrough rules is very simple. Although this is a two-player game, we'll be rolling for the pilot, and then rolling for the co-pilot one die at a time. And I will link into the description where you can find these solo rules. And these are not official rules. But it should be available on Board Game Geek, so I'll pull that for you guys. But I thought I would walk through the setup. So we're gonna lay this board in the middle. And then I'm not sure I'm gonna really put these on the screen. So these are like the player aids that you would typically have. If you were the co-pilot, you'd use this one. And then if you were the pilot, you would use this one. And it just gives you like a little reference to what each of the little sections do. But I don't think we will have this. Maybe I will just put it on the side. That should be okay. Let's put it like here. And this is basically in a multiplayer game, you're not supposed to see each other's dice rolls. So you would just simply roll your dice in these little tents, I guess. So put them there. And then we're going to be using YUL, Montreal Trudeau Airport. We're just going to put this on the left side. Starts like that. And then we have this side as part of the introductory game. So this is what it looks like. It will be cut off at the top, but that's okay, because this will end up coming down throughout the game as we ascend, or descend actually. Alright, so let's figure out, I like having that on the right since the board is the co-pilot side. We'll put the dice where it should be. Alright, we have this. This arrow should be pointing straight up. And then let's just pour everything out. And we'll cover up all of the green with these little squares. So these are kind of like the switches. And it's not showing there, but this is what the switches look like. And you'll just put them right on top of all of the green lights. Because throughout the game, you will be switching them on. And that's kind of like the puzzly part, because you might not always do it in time. Then we have 3 coffee cups, which will allow us to gain them throughout the game, and then use them to modify the dice values by +1 or -1 without looping around. So a 1 can't be a 6, and then a 6 can't be a 1. So we have these little markers. There's a blue, orange, and red. So you put the orange here. Put the red marker here. And they kind of look like this shape, in case you're wondering what they look like. That's the shape. And they kind of resemble like an arrow, points to the right. And then we have all these airplanes. And on this card, you'll notice there's airplane icons on the left. You'll place that many airplane tokens onto those sections. So we put 1 here, put 2 here. And with these, our goal is to be able to remove all of these airplanes before we get too close to the airport. We will lose the game if we get close to the airport and there are other planes in the airport. Basically, we don't want to crash into them. All right, we have some of the re-rolls. Goes there. And then, yeah, I think we do start with 1. Let's double check. So if you are following along with a rule book, you're going to use the landing procedure. And during setup, it says place a reroll token on each reroll icon on the altitude track. And I don't know if that means we start with a reroll. Okay. So because this altitude starts with a reroll, we do start with one, but it's not the actual one that comes with the game. So we'll put those back. And I think we're ready to start. All right, so the point of this game is that we are going to pilot this plane so that it completes 4 goals at the end of the game. So during the landing, which is the final turn, I think it's important to know what those goals are. So the first one is there are no airplane tokens on the approach track. The approach track is this track on the left. So again, we had to remove all the airplanes. So that's how we win for the first criteria. The second one is that all our flaps and gears are showing the green light. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them to flip on during the game. The third one is that the airplane's axis is completely horizontal, meaning this arrow is straight up. It starts straight up in this scenario, but in some cases it might move to the right, like that. If it ends up moving too much, we immediately lose the game with that X there. And then fourth, we have to spend less than our brakes when we place our engine dice. So our engine dice are here. Every round, we have to place dice in these 4 areas on the axis and the engines. So at the final round, which is when we're landing, we cannot place dice that total, or when you add them up, become a sum that are equal to any values in between the blue and the orange, and also cannot be more than the orange. So essentially everything below the blue then will win. So those are the 4 criteria, and they are listed here, so feel free to pause and read the final turn landing in case I didn't explain it well. And just a quick note, this is not an official tutorial. So this is just me trying my best to explain the game and playing. Alright, so as I mentioned in the beginning of the game, in the solo mode, you will be rolling all 4 of the pilot dice. And then as you take each round, you'll roll 1 of the co-pilot dice and you have to place that one. We can only manipulate dice using coffees. So once we gain coffees, which is by placing a red or blue, a orange or blue die in one of these 3 spots, we could gain 1. But keep in mind, we have to place dice every round. 2 of them have to go here from the pilot side, and 2 of them have to go here from the co-pilot side. So I will be explaining kind of what each of these things do as I play. Let's get started. I'll roll all 4 of the pilot dice. All right. 5, 2, 1, 3. That's a really good variety of values. And now I have to look at this board and see what I need to do. It's probably in my best interest to try to get rid of this airplane. And to do that, we can place it in the radio area. So I could place a 3 here. I count up 1, 2, 3 based on the value of the die. If there's an airplane there, I can remove 1 airplane. There we go. That one is removed. That's it. That's the first turn for the pilot. Now the co-pilot will roll 1 die. It's a 5. So I think actually with this number, I'm going to put the 5 here. It's important to try to get the engine to come down at least once per turn. So we'll do that. Nothing happens right now. These engine spaces require the other side to have a die before it can do anything. And I think we'll go ahead and do that. I'll place the 5 on this side of the engine. I sum up the 2 values. 5 plus 5 is 10. I look over here. If 10 is above this orange, we end up moving the plane down twice. So that means 1, 2. If there were any airplanes here at this time, I would lose the game. So I had to be strategic. If the sum ended up in between 5 and 8, I would have to move it just down one spot. If it was below a 5, which is anything, 2, 3, 4, I wouldn't move it at all. All right, so that's how the engines work. Now we roll for the co-pilot. It's a 3. All right. So I think in this case, I will put the 3 here on the radio. So you'll notice here on this side, the co-pilot has 2 radios. We'll count 3, 1, 2, 3, and remove that airplane. We have a 2 and a 1 here. I'm going to place the 2 here on the axis. Nothing happens yet. Once I place an orange die here, then something will happen to this axis. All right, let's roll a die. It's a 1. I'm actually going to put the 1 here. So what's special about each of these sides here? So this one are the wheels. The blue, or the actual pilot, will be able to place dice in any order. So to place this one first, then this and this. But on the co-pilot side, you see these arrows indicating you have to do it from top to bottom. I have to place a 1 or a 2 here, a 2 or a 3 here. So I'll place the 1 here, switch that on. When you switch it on, any of these that get activated, move this marker to the right. All right, I have a 1 here. So that means I'm going to place it here, I think. And I will, well, you know what? This is a bit of a risk. So how the axis works is I must put 1 die here at least. So my final co-pilot die will have to go here no matter what. So I think I want to get a coffee cup. So I'll place a die here. It could be any value, any color, and I gain a coffee cup. This way I could mitigate this value if needed. Because something to keep in mind is, depending on the value I put here, you do the difference of those 2 values. So if it was a 5, and this is a 2, the difference is 3. And you would move the difference towards the direction of the higher number. So if there was a 5 here, this is a 2, the difference is 3, this is the higher number, this would have to move 1, 2, 3, and we would lose the game automatically because it has turned too much. So I needed that coffee to hopefully mitigate a roll in case I needed to. So let's roll this and hope it's a 2. And it's a 5. So that's okay. Luckily, I got one of these, but I also have a reroll. I don't think I want to waste a reroll. So I'll spend the coffee, change this to a 4. Now I'll place it. 4 minus 2 is 2. This is the higher side. This will move to the right. 1, 2. All the dice are used. This is the end of the round. So what we'll do here is we'll pull this down. And now we're at 5,000 altitude. And you collect your dice. All right. And now we start all over. It's very quick. I mean, with me explaining everything, so this feels a little longer, but this is very quick. So I think I'll kind of pick up my speed. No pun intended there with the airplane. Let's see. So I have the 6. I have a 4. I need to get rid of these airplanes. So let's see what I can do. Over here as well, these are your brakes. By the end of the game, you'll want to do all of these brakes as well. You can only use the blue dice, and you have to go from left to right. So if I had a 2, I'd probably put it there, but I don't right now. All right, so I think I'll go ahead and... You know what? I think I'll put the 6 here, turn on that switch, and move this to the right 1 spot. So that's what happens when you bring down the wheels. This blue marker moves over to the right for each switch you turn on. All right, rolling 1 die. The co-pilot rolls a 6. Okay, so I'm going to put that. Ooh, a 6. I think I'll put that down here. Gain a coffee cup. All right, I'll put the 6 here. Oh, nothing happens because the axis needs to be balanced with the other die. So another 6. This is way too high of a number. I will put the 6 here. Nothing happens yet. I'll put the 1 here, so it's a 7. So it does move 1 down. Ooh, no, I can't do that yet. I had to. Ooh, I think I messed up. I need to remove these airplanes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what I need to do is put this here. I'll spend a coffee cup, make this into a 2. 1, 2, remove an airplane. Okay. And let's hope I get a 2 here. It's a 1. Oh no. Alright, so I need another coffee cup just in case. And then this 4 has to go here. Oh no. Did I really mess up, guys? I might need to use a reroll. But wait, even if I get a 1, it's gonna end up here and I have to move down. Oof. Yeah, I lost this one. I didn't think enough ahead. Maybe I should have used the reroll. Oh gosh. Well. Yeah, I don't think there's a way around it. So basically I'm forced to put this here. It's a 10. Unless I do a reroll. And it's going to move down. And once there's an airplane in this little window, unfortunately, I will crash into that airplane. Alright, well, that was my solo playthrough. An unfortunate ending there, but that was my quick playthrough of Sky Team. Very simple, very fun puzzle. There's like a ton of different variations you can do to play this game. There is the flight log, and it has a bunch of different scenarios that you can try, which is awesome. And I'm definitely going to play this more on my channel, so feel free to, subscribe if you're not already subscribed so that you don't miss out on it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye.